heartbeat.
Kubrick was such an odd one. Like, his films were so different. And he was a weird guy, too. He did, like, complex mathematics in his spare time.
You know what is the one piece of material I would actually rather know at this point than the contents of the Epstein files? Is the 25 minutes that were cut from Stanley Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut.
To be honest, I was just thinking, I just pulled my script from Eyes Wide Shut. I had a script that was from set, and I was reading it over the weekend, and I saw that it has this, I mean, I've known this for a long time, but I started really thinking about it over the weekend. It's missing a narration. It's missing a third-person narration that was originally in the movie. And that's because the movie was recut and changed after his... And they will deny it. But as a student of Kubrick, I'm watching the movie and I'm like, oh, Kubrick wouldn't do that.
Here's the real question. Like, what could even be in there at this point that they haven't cleared out? If you've got paperwork from 1963, like, what is in there still? A really creepy, high-profile case that might have connected a bunch of really powerful people.
Yeah.
Many online commentators believe that Eyes Wide Shut, directed by Stanley Kubrick, mirrors the real-life activities later associated with Jeffrey Epstein and certain Hollywood elites. According to this interpretation, Kubrick was not simply telling a fictional story but subtly revealing a hidden world he had allegedly observed. Joe Rogan has suggested that Kubrick may have been exposing the darker side of elite social circles, something Rogan himself claims to have glimpsed at a party hosted by someone allegedly close to Epstein.
So he took me some Eyes Wide Shut party in the middle of the Hollywood Hills. You had to get in an elevator and go to the top of this hill.
What?
Yeah, it was Naomi Campbell had this birthday party. And so Dave's like, hey, Joe, you want to go with me to this party? And I'm like, dude, I don't like going to those parties. I like avoiding celebrity things. Like, oh, come on, man. You know, I got to be back here by midnight anyway.
During a podcast episode with Brendan Schaub, Joe Rogan described attending a birthday party for Naomi Campbell, who has been rumored online to have been connected to Epstein.
And we have to take an elevator, like a four-person elevator, open-air elevator that goes up the side of the hill. And as we're going up the side of the hill, Naomi Campbell's kid photo is 40, 50 feet tall. Jesus. And I'm not kidding. I'm not exaggerating. Jesus. It's this enormous kid photo of Naomi Campbell. And then we get up to the top, and it's like Demi Moore's there, and I'm saying hi to Lenny Kravitz. I'm like, this is so strange.
It's so high.
Plus barbecued.
So high.
Barbecued.
As Rogan entered the gathering, he recalled finding himself face-to-face with Demi Moore and Lenny Kravitz. Online researchers point out that Moore's name appeared in Epstein's contact book, often described as a map of his social connections. She had reportedly been photographed at events attended by individuals later linked to Epstein. Kravitz's name also appeared in Epstein's contacts, drawing renewed attention due to his daughter, Zoe Kravitz. Her directorial debut, Blink Twice, centers on a billionaire's private island and themes of power imbalance. This led to speculation that the film may indirectly reference elite corruption, with some viewers theorizing it reflected the world her father moved in.
It was a good thing to dip my toe into and get the fuck out of there as quickly as
And realize
possible.
why you don't go to those.
Yeah, well, they're too famous. They're too famous, and it's what it is to me, it's like, ooh, don't get that famous.
Yeah.
Like, for sure, back off.
Because you're going to get weird.
Yeah. Well, everybody gets weird. They're weird people, and they have to hang out with each other because nobody else is going to understand.
For Rogan, merely being in the same room as these figures was surreal. But the atmosphere shifted when Naomi Campbell herself stepped forward to pose for photographs, bringing the entire party to a halt.
There was one point in the night, Naomi Campbell was for a book that she has. She has a book coming out.
Oh, okay.
And she's very nice too, by the way. She stops in the middle of this thing. They have these photos of her book is out, and it's this exclusive book that costs like $1,500 or something.
Yeah,
It's
don't
all
charge
like
that much.
Really big, high, glossy, the whole deal.
Yeah, don't do
And
that.
she just stops, and they start taking photos of her, and she just starts posing. So no one talks. No one's talking. Like, everyone's
They're just
quiet
watching
because
her
it's
do
a
this.
Naomi Campbell party.
Rogan later described the night as more than just an extravagant Hollywood party. To him, it felt like a glimpse into a hidden world long concealed from the public. Supporters of this theory argue that when viewed alongside Eyes Wide Shut, Kubrick's work begins to feel less fictional. Kubrick was known for obsessive research, often spending years preparing a single film. Because of this reputation, some believe that if anyone were capable of subtly exposing elite corruption through cinema, it would have been him.
I just think it's interesting, Stanley Kubrick probably would be canceled today.
Probably, yeah. Well, especially by people who don't understand what's required in order to achieve what he's trying to get.
Yeah.
Kubrick was a madman, though. I mean, he used to do complex mathematics in his spare time.
Kubrick delivered the final cut of Eyes Wide Shut to Warner Brothers executives Terry Semel and Robert Daly. Just 6 days later, Kubrick passed away. Ever since, questions have followed. One theory claims that powerful elites objected to the film's content and ensured Kubrick could not defend it. Reports have long circulated that approximately 24 minutes were removed from the final release. Rogan has discussed this possibility with guests such as Quentin Tarantino and Roger Avery, who spoke about potential studio interference. Supporters argue these are industry insiders, not casual conspiracy theorists.
Kubrick wouldn't do that. Kubrick wouldn't do that either. Kubrick would have trimmed this scene.
I didn't know they recut it after his...
Okay, so apparently...
I think they finished it.
Well, that's the party line.
That's their version,
That's the
yeah.
party line, but I think that they changed the notes, the close-ups, the inserts of the notes. I think those are changed. It's missing a narration. It's definitely missing a narration.
Advocates of this interpretation say the issue extends beyond one film. They argue that institutional gatekeepers often protect powerful figures from exposure. Viewed through this lens, Eyes Wide Shut appears to foreshadow what later emerged about Epstein. The story follows Dr. Bill Harford, played by Tom Cruise, who attends a Christmas party hosted by Victor Ziegler. Events there lead him to uncover a secret masked gathering at a secluded estate called Summerton. The title itself is interpreted as symbolic, suggesting society chooses not to see uncomfortable truths. According to this view, Hollywood witnesses wrongdoing but looks away to preserve its own power.
Listen, Bill, I don't think you realize what kind of trouble you were in last night. Who do you think those people were? Those were not just ordinary people there. If I told you their names, I'm not going to tell you their names, but if I did, I don't think you'd sleep so well.
Victor Ziegler's character is seen as central to this theory. He is portrayed as a gatekeeper who satisfies elite desires while shielding them from consequences. Supporters compare this role to real-life figures such as Les Wexner and Naomi Campbell. The film presents two worlds, an elegant public party and a secret nighttime ritual. Advocates argue this duality mirrors how elites maintain respectable public images while hiding darker behavior. A particularly disturbing scene involves a costume shop owner offering his teenage daughter to adult men, which theorists interpret as a nod to Epstein's alleged trafficking operation.
Thank you, Mr. Milic. I'll call you soon.
Goodbye, gentlemen.
Kubrick's casting choices for the masked ceremony are also scrutinized. He selected petite models who appeared youthful, which theorists say was intentional. They argue that when combined with allegations about Epstein's recruitment patterns and Naomi Campbell's modeling connections, the parallels feel deliberate rather than coincidental.
So I was laying down on this little plank thing. That boat shot there. I was laying down on a plank. Laying down on a pillow. Yeah. And you came and you sat down next to me. And I think you let me put my head in your lap, or you put my feet on your lap. Right. And you're like, sweetie, are you okay? Are you okay? And I said, actually, yeah, I'm okay.
The final confrontation between Dr. Harford and Ziegler takes place beside a red pool table. Analysts suggest the color symbolizes the red carpet from the masked ritual. Ziegler's rhythmic tapping on the table is interpreted as ritualistic, reinforcing his role as a bridge between normal society and the hidden elite world.
I know what happened last night. And I know what's been going on since then.
In that scene, both men appear genuinely frightened. Supporters of the theory argue this fear goes beyond embarrassment. They claim it implies something far darker than consensual adult behavior, explaining why Ziegler is desperate to silence Harford. When compared with Epstein's proven crimes, the film feels less like fiction to these viewers.
Listen, Bill, nobody anybody. It happens all the time.
Many argue that Eyes Wide Shut functions like an unrecognized documentary. The Summerton estate mirrors Epstein's properties, including Little St. James, his New York mansion, and his New Mexico ranch, places where powerful individuals could gather away from scrutiny. The costume shop scene is interpreted as symbolic of how illegal trafficking was disguised as legitimate activity.
There were a lot of people that had very cozy relationships with Epstein, whether they were involved in any of these alleged activities or not. But they don't even care, because it's appearances that get you in trouble. So you have to basically put as much distance between yourself and Epstein as you possibly can And I think in order to do that, a lot of people end up lying about it.
The elites in the film operate above the law, bound by shared secrets. Once involved, no one can report anything without implicating themselves. Advocates argue this mirrors how Epstein allegedly maintained control through compromat, photos, recordings, and flight logs. Victor Ziegler is seen as representing real-world intermediaries like Naomi Campbell, who allegedly connected Epstein to victims.
Oh yeah, Naomi Campbell is all over the Epstein files. And I remember hearing these rumors about, oh, Naomi used to recruit girls for them. And I was like, I don't see it. Like, surely not. But no, sure enough, she was consistently emailing him back and forth for 12 years.
Les Wexner, founder of L Brands, which owned Victoria's Secret and Abercrombie & Fitch, granted Epstein power of attorney over his fortune. Wexner was also linked to the Mega Group, a private circle of billionaires. Journalist Whitney Webb has described it as a coordination mechanism for elite power, echoing themes depicted in Kubrick's film.
There's a lot of people around, but I don't know how many.
Can you estimate how many people are working on the property at any given time?
20.
In February 2026, online claims allege that the FBI labeled Wexner a co-conspirator, a claim that remains unverified publicly. Around the same time, unredacted Epstein files were said to reference Sultan Ahmed bin Sulaim, chairman of DP World. According to viral reports, he resigned after emails with Epstein surfaced. These documents allegedly described international trafficking logistics involving Eastern European women and training spas abroad. Supporters argue this reflects the global elite network Kubrick warned about.
If you have esteemed scientists, Nobel laureates, scholars, all these different world leaders, bankers, famous singers, famous actors, they're all there. So that's the way you get people to do it. You invite people to this immense, lavish celebration that with intellectual world leaders, geniuses. And you think, well, how could it be bad if all these geniuses are there?
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, you're doing yayo, and you got some girl from some Eastern Bloc country that's rubbing your and you don't know that she's 16, and she takes you in a room, and that room is filled with cameras.
Joe Rogan becomes personally relevant here. He had discussed Epstein-related topics years before mainstream coverage. Rogan claims Epstein's associates attempted to arrange a meeting with him in 2017, which he immediately declined.
I'm in the files for not going, because Jeffrey Epstein was trying to meet with me.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah, and I was like, what?
I'm like, no thanks.
Yeah.
Aren't you glad?
Yeah, but I would have never went anyway. It's like, it's not even a possibility that I would ever went.
But
especially after I Googled him. I was like, what the are you talking about?
According to online theories, Rogan's refusal allegedly placed him in Epstein's records as someone who said no. Some speculate this is why Rogan later faced intense media backlash, though no evidence confirms this link.
What he was doing was very clever in that he was getting all of these very powerful and very respected people together.
Yeah.
And you would figure like, oh, it's
if that
safe.
guy's there, if that lady's
Clinton's
there.
here. This
yeah.
is fine.
Right.
Clinton's here. How
Yeah.
could this be bad?
Yeah.
Look, it's Steven Pinker. How could this be bad?
Yeah.
You know, he's a genius. Like, and so you would go, I would imagine, you would go to these, because there's people that went to these, like he had parties in New York, like he brought in celebrities and comedians. Didn't Louis Black get invited to one of those? I think he's talked about it. I know Chelsea Handler went to one of them. It's like he would bring all these people in, and he'd like to be around famous people and entertainers and a lot of intellectuals and professors. And Noam Chomsky was famously deeply involved. So it's like you would go, I guess, to these places, and that was how he would convince everybody that everything is going to be fine.
Rogan has long expressed suspicion of Hollywood culture. Statements once dismissed as paranoia are now viewed by supporters as early warnings.
Was that what's taken so long with this Epstein files?
Yeah, what's up with that?
What is up with that? Right.
Like, there's a mountain of evidence.
Right.
So where's that mountain?
Advocates argue Rogan became a platform for stories others avoided. His podcast's massive reach allowed these discussions to spread widely.
I can tell you that the number one problem in Hollywood was and is and always will be. That's the biggest problem for children in this industry.
The casting couch even applies to children.
Oh yeah. Not in the same way. It's all done under the radar.
Nobody talks about it.
It's the big secret.
And it's widespread?
Oh, yeah. I was surrounded by them when I was 14 years old. Surrounded. Literally. Didn't even know it. It wasn't until I was old enough to realize what they were and what they wanted and what they were about and the types of people that were surrounding me till I went, oh my God, they were everywhere like vultures.
Corey Feldman has also spoken for decades about exploitation in Hollywood. Supporters say he was discredited by media figures such as Barbara Walters, which allowed abuse to continue unchecked.
I'm saying that there are people that were the people that did this to both me and Corey that are still working, they're still out there, and they're some of the richest, most powerful people in this business.
And they are
And they do not want me saying what I'm saying right now.
Are you saying that they're
Yes.
and that they're still in this business?
Yes.
That's what, and that's what you were saying in your book. When you talk to, when you talk to
And they don't
parents,
want me here right now. Trust
Corey,
me. They want me dead.
there are a lot of parents out here who want to put their kids in this business. Their kids are cute, they're great actors. Da, da, da. What would you say to a parent who just has the best of intentions, who's coming here with their child? If you're saying that there's a lot of predators in this industry.
It's a many-feathered bird. Okay? Be careful what you wish for. That's what I'll tell you. You know, don't go into it with naivety. Don't go into it thinking that it's all roses and
You're
sunglasses and
damaging an entire industry.
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to say that it's a very important, serious topic.
Supporters claim this pattern proves elites protect themselves at all costs. They argue Kubrick made Eyes Wide Shut as a warning, depicting secret societies, elite hunting grounds, and exploitation. Theories persist that Kubrick was silenced after delivering his final cut, with scenes removed.
The movie was recut and changed after his death. So somebody went in and finished the movie, but I think when they finished the movie, they hid the film. The movie got changed into something else.
According to these theories, the Summerton networks were real and global, involving billionaires connected to Epstein. As files slowly become public, supporters believe the masks are finally coming off. Rogan, alongside figures like Mel Gibson and Cat Williams, is seen by fans as a whistleblower. The question remains, will these networks ever face consequences, or will they continue to protect themselves?